Hi everyone, coming at you from a different place today. The weather's changed a little bit, and so I'm outside in one of my favorite places. I have my kitty here, and off over here, I have my puppy too, who followed me out for a walk. But we'll get you out of the way here, and there goes the kitty too. So hope you all had a good week. Been working on some of that emotion regulation stuff and all the things that go along with it. This week, we're going to focus on a little bit more about what we can do in the midst of just everything, schedules changing, routines changing, the whole 9 yards. And so today what you'll get from your group facilitator will be, of course, the skills card, so going through that with them. And then the skills that we're going to work on this week are some really practical things. So before we get started, everybody just go grab a piece of paper or grab your worksheets if you were able to print them out from DBT. So take a moment, go get a pen and paper or your worksheets and hit pause and then come back. Okay, so everybody has pen and paper. Today is going to be a little bit more about lists and what we can do and what things can help us right now. We talk a lot about in DBT, like there's lots of things that are suggestions and ideas, which are great. They help put us in the right direction. But there's other things that we can do that really are just meaningful to us. And so I really want you today to really think about what helps you. What are some of the things that help you? So the first skill that you were sent would be self-soothe. So self-soothe is part of the distress tolerance. Self-soothe is about what really helps me. What helps me soothe? Thinking about the five senses. What do I like to look at? What do I like to touch, even taste? What do I like to hear? That's why I'm right here. It's really quiet. There's nothing out here. And I really like the fresh air. So some of those things are self-soothing to me. So writing down a list. So the first one will be that you write down will be vision. What do you like to look at? So in the suggestions, it's go to your favorite place and take in all the sights. So when I look around here, I see a lot of trees, I see the sky. Of course, I have my dog and my cat out here with me, so I see them. But what are some things that I like to look at? It might even be some pictures that you've had, maybe on your camera roll or even around your home or in your room, wherever. What do I like to hear? What do I like to listen to? I already alluded to it's silent out here, or just the breeze, just a slight rustling of leaves. When either my pets move or if a squirrel goes by. So some of those things, a lot of people like to listen to music. Be really specific. What kind of music soothes you? And that can be different for everybody. The kind of music that soothes you might be really irritating to me, and vice versa. My soothing music you might think is super boring. But again, we really want it to be what soothes you. And then smell. What do you like to smell? I really like the smell of fresh air. Some people like different candles or a campfire maybe the smell of fresh cookies. And then we go to taste. So this isn't like what's my meal that I want to gorge myself on, but when I taste it, it just really soothes me. So it might be that cup of coffee or tea, or maybe it's your favorite soda, or a flavor of ice cream that really just gives you that feeling. What else do I like to touch? This can be where pets come in too. So just petting your dog or your cat or your lizard or whatever you might have. Soft blankets, fuzzy socks, those things can be about touch. And then movement. So we've talked a little bit about like getting up, going for a walk, taking a break, doing that. Movement is so important for our bodies, and we use that as the sixth sense here in self-soothe. So thinking about what are some things that you would like to, that make you feel good when you move. Some of you are doing yoga, some of you just walking, stretching, whatever that might be. So on your paper, making sure you write vision or sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and movement. Pause the video right now and take a time to fill that in for yourself. What works for you? This will be something you'll go over in your individual session this week of what really does help you. We want to have it so you can see it and you can know it. So take some time to pause and fill that in right now. So with what you just filled in, we're going to make a kit from that. Okay, so you're going to try to be as creative as you can with looking at things you have around your home or wherever you're at. Of what can I put? Maybe it's really small, like it's a little purse. Maybe it's a bigger bag like this that you put it in, but something that you can put some things in. Maybe it's a shoebox you have lying around, a basket. So the first thing is to find something that you have lying around to put something in. And then what we're going to do, we're making a survival kit. So kind of like a first aid kit for just when we're having some different feelings that come up where we might need to soothe ourselves. Okay, so we're thinking about 10 different tools that we might be able to put in that kit. So maybe you have some stress balls lying around. Maybe you have some of the things you put already on your first list with all of the different senses. So take some time, gather those items, because when we're in a really hard time, the last thing that we're going, my cat's going around over there. The last thing we're going to be is like, oh yes, I remember I have this and I think it's here, I think it's there. No, we want to try to gather those all in one spot. So take some time right now, or take some thought as to what are some things you'd like to put in that place. So you have that. And here's my little kitty rooster again. And you might have a bigger basket, as well as you might have, because I can't put my little rooster in a small basket, but I certainly can put a little card with his name on it. So I remember, oh yeah, if I'm feeling kind of goofy, maybe I just need to go find Rooster and I need to give him some pets because he obviously really likes them. Okay, so take some time to think about some things. If it is like your cat or your dog or your lizard or your snake or whatever, write a card with their name on it. So you're reminded of that can go in my kit. Okay, and then the last thing that we're going to work on right now, we've been focusing a lot in the world on things that we can't do, things that we're certainly missing out on. And so what I want to really focus on for this week is the things that we can do. And so the last sheet that we've sent you is the pleasant activities list. So again, if you don't have that or you don't have the ability to print it off, I want you to grab another sheet of paper and write pleasant activities list on the top. So you basically have the same list, okay? Some of the things on this list, suggestions, are things that we can't do anymore. You can't go hang out with friends or go to a party or things like that. So some of these are null and void, but again, really focusing on the things that you can do. You can go for a walk. You can take a relaxing shower. You can read. So this might be an example of me going to one of my favorite spots. So that's self-soothe, because I've already talked about some of the things that are going on around me. And then bringing some books along with, because reading a book might be pleasant for me. I also might write in a journal. Might bring some extra color crayons so I would be able to draw in there as well, if that really helps me. Or I might even be able to bring out some different coloring sheets just to kind of be in a space that makes me feel good. And right now there's no bugs, so that's really helpful. It also might be, grabbing a magazine, reading a magazine. It might just be sitting here and bringing your water bottle and having just kind of a nice time, and having your water in case you get hot and thirsty. Just different things that you can do. Also, learning a new skill, whether that be sewing or playing some games that you hadn't played. Yesterday, I played Scrabble, which I hadn't played in a number of years. So remembering the things that you can play and you can do. So this list, if you have access to it, it does have 75 things on it. And so thinking about circling those 75 things, even if you can't print it off, going on your computer and looking at that and writing down those things that you can do. So this week we're focusing on what you can do. So when you're checking in with your individual DBT time this week, really focusing on what I can do, maybe what holds me back from doing those things, And asking maybe for help if you need that help of like, what else can I do? What else can I do if I'm feeling really, really stuck? Because it's hard sometimes to go to these, but I really wanted to focus this week on what I can do. We talked last week about kind of when our emotions can, when they're out of balance, and how we get from point A to point B. So what can we do in that? So I would suggest looking at self-soothe, creating that first aid kit for when it's hard to soothe, and then focusing on what we can do with the pleasant activities. So making sure you have all those down on your sheet and being able to check in with those this week. Grab all the items, put them in something. You can even decorate it really nice. Snap a picture of it, and then you can talk to your therapist about what's in that picture. And they may have some ideas on how we might even be able to put all those pictures together so we can see what other people have some ideas. Because what we're missing in now with not having a group is the feedback from everyone else, which we know is so important. So be prepared to talk with that individual and thinking about how we can compile a big list, and we'll do a follow-up on what are some pleasant activities around the board that people are doing, so we can help each other out. So look for a follow-up on that. If you have any questions about any of these skills, make sure you talk to your individual therapist about that when you're doing your individual DBT time. And again, we look forward to the time we can meet again. Thank you for watching these YouTube channels. Make sure you hit the little bell to subscribe so you get alerts when a new video comes up, as well as you could check out our Facebook page as well, as we've been doing some Facebook Lives during the week, different things, different topics that you might be interested in looking at. So until next week, I hope you have a good week and focus on what you can do right now. Thank you so much. Rooster and Ruger say goodbye too. Bye.